Hey, folks, and welcome to Drinking Alone with Friends, a podcast where three friends drink alone together. My name's Chris.
What up? It's Tud.
And I'm Obert.
And I hear, Tud, maybe you want to share with the class. Maybe you don't. I don't know. Trade secrets. No one knows. Making some cake croutons over there.
I am currently attempting to make cake croutons. Live as we speak on this recording.
Live on this recording. Yeah, salads just weren't tasty enough for Tud.
I was going to ask if you were trying to set a record for most calories in a salad ever.
I don't know if cake would make the cut there. I would think I would just add lard as my dressing.
Well, I assume that you use the lard in baking the cake for these to make the lard cake.
No,
croutons.
lard dressing. Lard dressing.
Lard
Lard dressing.
Yes.
But I guess
What
you
are
could
we
make the
replacing
cake
the lettuce with?
cake. Now we're gonna replace the lettuce with cake.
It's just a
Oh, I
cake.
was thinking potato chips.
A cake with cake
That's kind
croutons.
of roughage. Yeah, there we go.
Yes. So I'm currently trying to stale up some cake. I've learned that this is the most difficult thing to figure out, because if you Google how to turn cake stale, all of the results are how to take stale cake and make it either re-moist or what to do with stale cake.
How to unstale a cake.
Yeah, But nobody's ever asked the question. I think I'm the first one ever in the history of mankind. How do you make a cake stale?
We actually heard this answer in Asheville when we were trying to cross this crosswalk. There was a button that told you the answer when you hit it, how to make a cake stale.
He told you sternly.
Wait.
That's what you got to do.
Just wait.
Well, I don't have time to wait, though, so I need this cake to be stale, now.
Okay, but hang on. So why do you actually need a stale cake?
So I entered a homebrew competition from one of our favorite breweries on the podcast, Labyrinth. They're doing a wort competition where they've provided me with 7 gallons of wort. I then boiled that wort, added in some hops, boiled it for a whole hour, and then added in a shit ton more hops at the end via whirlpool, and then added 2 different strands of yeast to make it into beer. And now I want to add some cake and some fresh pineapple to make a pineapple upside down cake IPA.
Wow, that sounds like a crazy beer.
I know, right?
I hope it's going to be good. My only concern, I'm not worried about winning. I just want it to be a drinkable beer. And if anybody's ever stuck fresh cake into water, cake absorbs a lot of water. So my only thought process is to turn the cake into cake croutons, which if you ever stuck a crouton in water, it doesn't absorb as much water as a fresh piece of bread. So my thought process is that cake croutons won't absorb as much water as normal cake.
Have you considered trying waterlogged cake into the beer?
I don't want to add water.
Okay.
What about
It's tough.
what if you take a really
soaked.
good beer? Yeah, take a really good beer. And then you could infuse it.
Had I have thought of this sooner,
Pineapple juice.
I'm going to add fresh pineapples to the beer. I have that all ready to go.
Yeah, but you soak it. You soak it in the pineapple juice. Boom. Pineapple upside down cake.
It's actually not the worst idea I've heard.
Yeah, I think my
Genius.
idea is you save some of the beer from this year, and then you could soak next year's cake in it.
There you go.
So then it's every year you brew, you have a little bit of the last year's beer in it.
If I would have thought of this sooner, I would have found a way to make a stale cake and then thrown it.
You would have you just be able to wait at that point.
And then I would have thrown it into the boil. I would have thrown part of the cake into the boil. But
Yeah.
alas, here I am. And
So what do you get if you win?
there are prizes. Let me see if I have. Official prizes are first place, and this is first place for judge scoring. So there's a People's Choice Award, and there's judges that score, and the judges are just the people at the brewery. First place is a $100 gift card, an awesome trophy that they will custom make, and then they will brew your beer and put it on tap at Labyrinth.
Okay.
Cool.
First runner-up gets a $75 gift card and a pretty cool trophy.
Non-custom made.
Right. Second runner-up gets a $50 gift card and a cool trophy. And then People's Choice, you get a $50 gift card as well, and you get an epic high five.
Oh, okay. All
Man,
right.
People, Todd, if there's one thing I know about you, You know what the people like.
I hope so. I hope, if I don't get the grand prize, I am hoping
You just want that high five.
for the people's prize.
Yeah.
Now, there is a chance here, okay, that it could be the first ever drinking alone with friends beer made by a brewery, right?
Yes, I have thought of this.
Or
if I win, what will I name?
Yeah,
it?
what's the name? What's the name?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
I think you got to find out what it tastes like first. I think you can't name it. It's like, sometimes you could.
Naming a baby before it's born.
Right, you got to
Yeah.
wait till you see it, and you're like, you're not a Timothy, you're a
Carl.
Jeremy.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I think you should name your beer Timothy. But who knows?
Timothy by Todd. Who knows what it comes out as, though?
People will be like,
Right.
people will be like, what's with the name? I'll be like, don't worry about it. Have you
Well,
listened to our podcast?
Right.
People
right.
name animals, people name their pets human names. Why not name a beer a human name?
I mean, Hill Farmstead does that all the time.
Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm. I don't think they have one named Timothy, though.
I don't know. We have the power of Untapped to check that.
We do. Yeah, well, you also have to tell them, listen, because, I think you're a shoo-in to win, honestly. But I think you have to coerce them into canning 2 cans of this beer that you can then send to 2 co-hosts. So.
That is true. I don't know if they would turn on the can line for 2 cans of beer. I don't know if that's possible. But
Just like...
We'll take a crowler.
Yeah, I'll take a crowler. Yeah, that's perfect. There we go.
how do I get you guys a crowler?
The same way. Just bigger box.
All right.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine. All right.
So, but
I'm looking
I
forward
am-
to this beer. Very excited.
As I said, my entire goal, I would like to win, but my ultimate goal is to just brew a drinkable beer that kind of tastes like cake, because and an IPA, because I've never had a cake IPA, and I figured that might be fun. Now, Chris wanted me to brew a Brownie IPA.
Yep, I have a name for it and everything.
But I thought that was a little too weird for me.
Wait. You thought a Brownie IPA, a 2-word name, 2-word word style, was less weird than a pineapple upside down cake IPA.
Yes. So the reason I can explain this. Okay. Have you had an IPA that tastes like pineapple?
Sure.
Yes.
Have you had an IPA that has lactose in it?
Yeah.
Have you had an IPA that has vanilla in it?
Yes.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Have you had an IPA that is tropical? Okay. So
These are very leading questions.
So how far of a stretch is it to add all those into one thing and maybe add a little bit of cake flavor versus trying to brew a beer that is historically tropical flavored with chocolate?
It sounds amazing, honestly. That's the one I want.
Now, I will give you credit. Brownies probably do not absorb as much liquid as cake.
Like I'm saying, you honestly could have put brownies in this one and no one would have known.
Yeah, make it a pineapple upside down brownie IPA.
This could be the cornerstone. Okay, this and I'll
What
be.
if
What if?
Tud's not just inventing a new kind of beer, he's inventing a new kind of dessert while we're at it. How epic would that be? Like,
That'd be
what if
pretty
pineapple
awesome.
upside down brownie is the best dessert? No one's ever tried it, though.
True.
It's true.
That's true. Listen, I can be your idea man all day.
I will say that
Brownie stouts, brownie burner devices,
so
brownie pilsners.
Let's move beyond the bees, though, because it's kind of running low on ideas.
So I was telling Obert this previously. I have. Do you know what? We're gonna wait till handles for that, because I think that's gonna be my handle this week.
Okay, croutons. Spoiler alert. Okay, well, if we're saving the rest of this for the handles, I think that means it's time for us to start drinking.
Yes, I'm so parched right now.
It's beer 30, and I'm thirsty. I've been working like a dog all week long, so maybe something cold won't hurt me. 'Cause it's beer 30, and it's time to party. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby. Okay, so Todd, would you like to go first this week?
I'm gonna hand it off to Obert. You go first. This
Okay.
week.
Yeah, I'd be happy to. All right. Well, I'm very excited about this beer that I have this week. It is from a brewery I don't see much of out here, but we talked about way back, probably in the early double digits of this show, with their Teddy Roosevelt American Badass, and that's Meadowlark Brewing. This is their Magic Hobo Monkey, which is a pineapple upside down cake IPA. No, I'm kidding.
Well,
it's
shit.
Their,
I guess I have to throw this beer out now.
it's their Juju Juicy IPA, which has notes that are orange and tropical fruit. It has a picture of a monkey that looks like a hobo with a green beard and one of those little bundles with a stick over his shoulder, and a picture of an orange that says 8.2% ABV. I talked about them. They used to be out of Sidney, Montana, which is a little tiny town near the North Dakota border. This says it's brewed and canned in Billings, Montana. So it seems like they're moving on up.
So what is Billings like? Like maybe one more person the size of their town that they came from?
Billings is the largest city in Montana.
Right.
So
exactly as I said. So that maybe they have 3 more people.
Maybe. But we'll find out. Let's see if how good a beer they can brew.
I remember that I think I had Teddy Roosevelt when I was in Montana.
Oh, yeah?
And I don't remember liking it.
I think it's a barley wine or like a strong wheat ale. So not for everybody. I could see that being. It's not one that I think since I reviewed it, I probably have had it once or twice. But they're starting to can it now, which I saw. We got this big shipment in from Meadowlark, including this Hobo Monkey, Magic Hobo Monkey.
What makes them magic?
I don't know. It's a good question. There's no like fun story about the Hobo Monkey and what makes him magic, but I guess it's up to our imaginations.
That's a different brewery.
Imagination? Yeah. I thought you were talking about Magic Cat for a second.
No. Listen, I got jokes.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so take a look at this beer. It looks like a hazy IPA.
Mm-hmm. Look at that.
Oh, you'd be dead. I don't see anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No headlights
through it.
No
Zero
headlights.
Yeah. On the nose, smells like a tropical IPA. What's the Ballast Point?
Yes.
Ballast Point.
Yep.
They make the Sculpins.
Sculpin,
right?
Yeah.
So this is smells like one of the Ballast Point Sculpins.
Sculpins.
Yeah.
Those were a solid beer back in the day. I have not had one of those in years.
No, yeah.
But it's a little danker, I would say, on the nose.
They're manta ray spectacular. Anyways.
Yeah, I always like when I can describe a lesser known beer in terms of what it tastes like, a more popular beer that listeners might have had, just to give somebody an idea. But all right, I can't wait any longer. I'm going to dive right in. Cheers.
Splat.
Okay, way maltier than I would have guessed, just based on everything I've described so far.
Okay.
I get a strong caramel malt flavor out of this right away, like before I get the hops.
That's weird.
Makes me wonder how long ago this was canned.
Yeah,
Does it have a date on it?
2019.
That's what makes it magic. The time-traveling beer. I don't see a date. If there is one, it's under this sticker that they put over the barcode.
I noticed that's a thing in Montana. They like to put stickers over beer bark, under beer labels.
Yeah, I've complained too about Marcus Foods and their giant-ass stickers. I understand why you would want to put this barcode over the old barcode so you don't mix them up, because this is specifically sold as a single, so it's a different price. But I don't know. We'll never know when it was canned.
Impossible.
If one of you could check on Untappd, and this might just be a brand new beer. I don't know if we can find out when it was created or anything like that. But not getting super hoppy vibes from this. Yeah, I'm getting, like I said, more caramel malts, even a little bit of funkiness. Tud used a good word today that I forgot, which was esters. It's got that like rotting banana kind of Belgian-y vibe that sometimes we get. Not what I was expecting with a beer that was described as a Juju Juicy IPA and that looks like this.
Right.
Has a nice picture of an orange on it. I get very little, if any, of those citrus notes that you would want. No, not really any orange or tropical fruit. This is very disappointing to me. I expect more from Meadowlark. It's It's not a terrible beer. This is by no means a drain pour. I'm going to enjoy every one of these 16 ounces. But it's not the beer that's on this can, right?
Right.
It's I'm hoping that I just got a bad can or whatever, but I have to assume that they all taste like this.
So
This is the first one I've had.
So Untappd shows me that they've been producing this beer since June 8th, 2021.
Okay.
But, people have checked it in as recently as today.
So it's no more than like 370 days old.
Correct. If you had an original can, then it's about a year old.
Yeah, but I don't think so. Like I said, this just showed up. They just started canning the Teddy Roosevelt. I've been on a beer buying hiatus since before our Asheville trip, but this was not in the stores a month ago. So I don't know why they would get old cans, but hey, stuff happens. So, like I said, conflicted about how to rate this beer because it is drinkable, it is good, but it's not the beer on the label. It's not a tropical, juicy IPA. So for me, that's only going to get a 3.25, unfortunately.
Okay.
Tough rating, but I need to hold up my reputation as the hardest grader of the pod.
The bad boy, so to say.
Yeah. I'm the Simon Cowell to your Ruben Studdard and what's her name?
Paula Abdul.
It's not
we'll
Ruben
leave it up
Studdard.
to the listeners.
It's Randy Jackson.
Yeah,
Randy Jackson.
Ruben Studdard
was a winner.
A winner, yeah.
So
Yeah.
So
yeah.
which one of us is the
That's
drunk,
for the listeners.
Which one of us is drunk Paula Abdul?
The listeners know. They could start a Discord poll if they want to know what the other listeners thought. But yeah, I'm the Simon Cowell in this scenario. So
yo, dog, say your beer had.
I don't think Paul Abdul had a catchphrase, but
I think you just have to talk with a slurred voice.
fair. That's fair.
No, you have to. Did you give your rating? Did I miss that through all your
325?
325. Maybe you're the drunk one.
Maybe.
Yo, dog.
Yo,
It's a no for me, dog.
yo, dog.
We're both Randy Jackson.
So if there were 522 check-ins, dog, what would you think the Untappd diverse would rate this?
525, you said, or 535?
522, dog.
522. Okay. I don't know. This is I'm not feeling good about my chances this week, boys.
Dogs.
It's okay, dog.
Dogs, my fellow dogs. I don't know. Wait, are we all now?
I think
Randy
you're supposed to be doing this with a curmudgeon-y British accent.
Now we're all ready.
Fair. I think we're all Randy Jackson. I don't think it's going to be that high. 3.59.
Well, dog, that's a no for me, dog. It's a 3.90.
Yeah, ouch.
Ben, Untappd person, Ben, he quoted this as, gave it a 5 and said, best double New England IPA I've ever tasted.
Okay.
There you go.
Assuming Ben knows what he's talking about, I just got a bad can. So
The rest of them are not as glowing, are not as glowing, but everybody seems to like it.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, just in case it's an off night for everybody, you both have cocktails, whatever. I'm gonna put on my. What did I get? It was a 0.41.
Yeah. Yep. No, 3-1, right? 3-1.
You said 3, yeah, 3, yeah.
3-1,
That's,
3-1,
that's how
3-1.
math works.
Yeah. How does math do?
Putting my
Dog.
0.31 on the board. So, okay, nice. I shouldn't even say nice try. Good can art, Meadowlark, but wish I had more positive things to say about you. I will try again next time. Maybe if I have this beer on tap, I could give it a better rating.
Maybe it is the best double New England IPA you've ever had, like Ben.
That's not true. Maybe Ben doesn't know what he's talking about.
In
That's
a world
the
of
option.
in a world of Oberts, be a Ben.
I'll rather be an Obert, but fair enough. Okay, so Ted, what do you have for us this week?
Yeah, so this week I brought a beer that I've had in the past, but like years ago. I've not had it in a very, very long time, and it's Switchback Ale by Switchback Brewing Company out of Burlington,
Okay.
Vermont.
It's a classic.
This is
Yeah.
a classic. It's a well-balanced reddish amber ale. In pure New Vermont fashion, it says yeast sediment is normal. Before opening, invert can and swirl to mix yeast back into the beer for best experience.
This is a beer drinker's beer, if I remember correctly.
Yes, this is a beer tasting beer. I think this is the first time we've had a beer tasting beer on this podcast in a very long time.
I also remember it weighing in around 9%. I remember it being pretty strong for like a beer.
Well, let's find out. It's almost like I have the can in my hand. No, it does not say. This can does not have an ABV on it. Okay.
I'll confer with Untapped.
Yeah, same.
It is 100% naturally conditioned. It's 100%
5% ABV.
Okay, so good, solid, crushable summer beer. It's 100% unfiltered and it's 100% Vermont made. So let's dive in. I think the last time I had Switchback, I had it in a bottle. So
yeah,
it's been a long time since I've had Switchback that now they can it.
Yeah, they used to only bottle, and I remember I've actually been to Switchback many eons ago, and they only had 2 beers on tap. I forgot what it was. I forgot what the other one. It might have been just like it was like a red label or something. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, we went to Switchback when we were up in Vermont a long time ago.
I know now they have like green labels and blue label. This is blue. They had green labels and red labels. There's a gray label now. Like,
oh wow,
I don't know what they're doing, but if this beer is as good as I remember it being, I'm gonna enjoy this beer. Light test shows that you'd be able to see something heading at you, but you're not dodging anything.
Right.
It does show that as because it's an amber ale. It is darker. It's probably about like an 11 on the SRM scale, maybe. No, like a 8 or a 9 on the SRM scale. It's unfiltered. Definitely cannot see through it at all. On the nose, you do get a lot. I can't believe we're going to use this word twice in one podcast episode. You do get a lot of ester flavors because it's an amber. It smells like a little like a red ale as well, which is delicious because I love red ales. And it's got pretty good head retention. I mean, it's weighing in at probably about a 1/4 of an inch head retention. So let's see what it tastes like. Let's see if I love it as much as I remember loving it.
I drink the beer from the glass, but that's boring. That's boot, ooh yeah, that's more like it, keep pouring. I have the German accent, and so of course I love beer. And how much can the boot hold? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, beer. Das boot.
So I still like this beer. It's a very good beer. It tastes like beer. It tastes a little like a red ale. It's kind of got some of those red ale notes to it. It definitely has some of those estery flavors, some of that like that rotting banana, like the slight Belgian flavors to it. But it just tastes like a normal standard ale. Like it's a solidly drinking ale that tastes better than most other ales you're going to be able to get. It's like a thicker, breadier Bud Light. If I had to,
okay.
Would you say it's like a thicker, breadier Budweiser?
Budweiser has a little bit too much sweetness.
Okay.
This is more dry.
Yeah.
It's a different sweetness. Like Bud Light tastes like kind of more like artificially sweet. This kind of tastes like, and I can throw this back to brewing. Wort has a distinct smell, right? I mean, we can all agree that when you're brewing wort, the oatmeal that it makes has a distinct flavor to it, or nose flavor to it. This kind of tastes like what I would imagine that should taste like if it was not sweet and full of sugars. Mm-hmm. They did a good job like capturing that wort smell into the taste of a beer.
It tastes like liquid bread, basically.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
I think for me the closest beer, even though it's an ale, would be the Boston Lager. I think.
Oh,
is
yeah.
A good analogy.
Okay. It's a good one.
Of
It's a better Boston Lager.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't had a Boston Lager in years. It's been a long time.
Do they still make that?
Probably not. Probably discontinued it.
I think they still make it. I'm trying to find my list of.
I would love to know if you looked at all of Sam Adams' beers by volume. We are on the list. Boston Lager is now in terms of how many they brew compared to some of their other more popular, like their hazy and stuff.
True.
It has to be top.
Oh yeah.
Top 5, easy. Like
yeah, there's some boomers out there that are loving their Boston Lager.
And like the other ones I'm thinking of are like seasonal heavy hitters, like Sam Summer. I'm sure they do a lot of those, or Cold Snap, which I personally love. But like I can only get in the spring, like
right.
So I've brought up my flavor list.
Oh God.
Just because I was kind of curious for more ways to describe it than the same words that Obert used.
He's putting estery on there right now. He's adding it.
I can tell you it's not on here. Oh no, it does say esters. That's in the corner. I already had it. So go me. I would say that it is very malty. It is very well balanced. It only weighs in at 5%. It does not drink like a 5% beer. Grainy, yes. Bread-like, yes. Biscuity, definitely a little biscuity. Not as much caramelly. A little more toffee flavored. And the last word I think I would use to describe it is I think there's, think from the esters, I think it's a little bit like bubblegummy.
Okay.
Okay.
Again, bubblegum, I just don't pick up in beer. I don't know. Maybe it's the beers I'm drinking.
I wish that, not for the sake of the drinking alone part of this podcast, but I do wish that I could share more beers with you because I'd love to be like, this is a bubblegummy one. Try this one.
I would love it, honestly.
You ever had Bazooka Joe? That's what you kind of taste in some beers.
I don't get that flavor in any beers.
Huh.
Maybe I just don't drink those beers that have the bubblegums.
Well, so through my tangent here, through my brewing process of trying to figure out pineapple upside down cake and what I wanted it to taste like, I did learn that sometimes I have a hard time picking up pineapple in beer. Like, to me, it doesn't quite taste like pineapple in your beer until I've like forced it into my face with more pineapple. A lot of times
it's more of like a star fruit flavor.
No, I learned it actually. To me, it comes through a little bit more bittery.
Okay,
I can see that.
Yeah,
so
I can see that too.
For pineapple, I get a lot of bitterness sometimes. So that's kind of why I was like, well, let's make a pineapple upside down cake IPA where I want to taste pineapple. I don't want to taste bitter pineapple. But anyways, going back to this beer, I'm still a solid drinker. I'm gonna give it a solid 3.75. It's a very good ale. I would buy this. It's summer. I'm gonna buy this again and drink. I'm gonna drink a 4-pack this summer or multiple 4-packs this summer.
Nice. It's a good goal for you. So I have it here. Believe it or not, there's quite a few ratings for it. 62,264.
Wow.
So there's a few. Also a rating by Tud back in 2000.
I want to talk about that.
Okay. Yeah.
But I want to hear Tud's guess first.
Oh yeah, no, we're not giving away one out of the 62,000 scores.
That wouldn't be fair.
You'd be able to get it exactly every single time.
I don't know. I mean, it's a lager, or it's an ale. I mean, so it's not going to be a 4. It's definitely below a 4. Yeah. My question is it a 3.75 or is it a 3.5? And then where on that scale in between is it? So I'm just going to say, it's closer to 3.75. So I'm going to say 3.68.
You're close, but not.
If it's 3.69 and I didn't pick 69, I'm going to be pissed.
Yeah, that was a missed opportunity, but you would have been even further away. It's a 3.63.
Oh,
so
okay.
Not bad. For 62,000 ratings, not bad.
That is a very high ale rating.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad beer. We've all had it.
And now, clearly, I thought it should have been higher because I gave it a 3.68, but I guess 3.68. But it's a great ale.
Well, I will say that Tud 5 years and 11 months ago thought it was an even better beer.
What did I rate it?
Little baby beer drinker, Tud, in your beer infancy days, you gave it a 4.25.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
And you checked it in at I'm sorry, I'm not a degenerate location. And you also unlocked your 25th check-in of a pale ale or American pale wheat with this check-in.
Well, okay.
So you could tell it was back in your infancy of checking in beers. I want to know
where is I'm sorry, I'm not a degenerate.
Well, it said Windsor Locks, Connecticut. So
okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that must have been my Windsor apartment.
Probably. Where were you living in July of 2016?
Windsor. Either Windsor or South Windsor.
Okay. Not to dox old Tud, but
yeah, I know, right?
If there's any time travelers out there,
you can try to find me now. Hey, that's my superpower.
That's right.
Now when I'm applying for a credit card and it says, which one of these addresses are you most have you lived at before? I know. Well, I know the town at least. I got you. Or maybe I know one of the two towns. But anyways.
well, I'm happy that it has a good rating. If listeners, if you have not tried this, I mean, maybe it's a 4.25. Did I have it? Does it say what I had it at it? Like, did I choose like bottle, or I'm assuming it was in a bottle then?
A picture of a bottle on your check-in.
Okay. Well, if you could find it in a bottle, listeners, I'm sure that it's probably more closer to a 4.25 out of the bottle than it is out of a can.
That's what made the difference there.
Right. So, Chris, can you beat me?
Maybe. We'll find out. I mean, yes, obviously. I have a heavy hitter tonight.
Going last.
Going last. I know. I should have gone first, but I actually was okay with it because it gave it time to properly warm up. And I think this is going to be a big one, too. It's the Bourbon Barrel Aged Expedition Stout from Bell's Brewing.
Oh.
So, it's a Russian Imperial Stout aged in bourbon barrels. So, I like, honestly, 13.4% right now is not what I want to have, but I'm doing it for you guys. And by that, I mean
hear that, listeners?
Yeah. I'm doing this for y'all. So you're welcome. Ooh, very boozy on the nose. Okay.
Listeners, next time you try and peer pressure someone into drinking, remember that you just did it the last time we listened to this episode.
Right. The saving grace is it's only 12 ounces. Chris
is also a time traveler and can feel the peer pressure from the future.
Yeah, exactly. I know you guys were talking about me behind my back about how I never drink 13.4% barrel-aged stouts in the pod anymore. So there it is, dark as night, as you can imagine.
Well, I don't know. We have to do the light test to figure it out.
That's true. We don't know for sure how dark it is until the light test is done. So here it is for y'all. Yep.
One BSRM.
Like,
you are getting. You're not seeing that coming at you.
Yeah, you're annihilated. Not an ounce of light went through. It was
it's like a black. It's like a black hole.
It's a black hole. Yeah, it's a black hole of beer. Very strong boozy flavor on the nose. It smells good. I mean, I get a little bit of like almost like a chocolatey like reminiscence in my nostrils, but I do get a lot of bourbon. I'm a little afraid of the bourbon right now.
I think I've seen this beer before, and I've just never picked it up. I don't think I've ever had it.
Yeah, I don't know why it jumped out to me. I think I got it from Ultimate Ales when I went one time.
It looks like a very plain bottle.
Yeah, it's just yeah. I mean, it's got like a compass on it, and or I guess no, is that a compass? It's not a compass. What's compass enough?
It's like a compass rose.
Yeah, and it just says Expedition Stout in like old timey. It's got like almost like a map look to the label. Just plain
you would
looking.
expect to dig up a treasure chest clue.
Exactly.
And be like, find this bottle there.
So here we go. We're gonna give it a shot. See how it is. It should be plenty warm now. I took it out when we started recording, so it should be plenty warm now. Let's see how it goes.
And I'm drinking, well, you know that you're my friend, and I'll say, I think I'll have myself a beer.
Okay. All right. Okay. That's really good. Wow. Okay. Temperature-wise, perfect. I think it's exactly where I want it to be. It is strong. It does have those like bourbon, like very heavy bourbon notes. The alcohol is hidden relatively well. I mean, you can tell it's got some ABV to it, but it's not like blaringly just alcohol. I do get some like nice sweetness from like chocolate sweetness almost. It might be the Russian Imperial Stout working with the barrels. But it's like really good. Like surprisingly smooth. Drinks. You can tell it's a little heavy, but like it does drink very nice. It starts off, it hits you with some of the bourbon, then you get some of these like this nice mix of like those dark malts and the bourbon mixing together, having a nice little play around. Get you some chocolate. You get stung a little bit with the 13.4%, but not too bad. And then it finishes off nice and like just it leaves like a nice almost like a coffee aftertaste in your mouth at the end. Very, very good. Thank you. I don't think there's any esters in this though, so I feel like I'm the esterless one in the pod tonight.
You did ask before the podcast if there was a theme to today's podcast. Well, you stumbled upon it. It was esters.
It was esters. Damn it. But yeah, it's kind of a dangerous one. Like you can't chug it, but you definitely could drink it pretty quickly. And next thing you know, you're bad nights. But it's very good. I'm a fan.
Could you pour like a bowl of Count Chocula into it? to use
I'm sure
like
you could.
something
I'm
type of
sure you could. I don't know if it's enough though. How much is a bowl of milk? I know it's
less than 12 ounces.
less than 12. Okay, so there's enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely. I'm more of a. I like like cereal and then like a sea of milk. That's how I eat my cereal.
You're a heavy
Would
milker.
cake croutons help?
Cake croutons may actually help. Yeah, actually. Like if I had a couple cake croutons to drop in this bad boy right now, I think we're talking 5s all day. Like, it'd be the perfect salad.
Hashtag bells. Let's get on this.
Hashtag yes, exactly. We'll go into business together. Drinking alone with
Hashtag
friends.
cake tons.
Cake tons. In your expedition style, but no, this is very good. Yeah, I mean, it drinks really easy for 13.4%. I love it. It reminds me of like not quite as good because I think Old Rasputin's delicious, but like it reminds me of the same line, like those barrel aged Old Rasputins and stuff like that. I'm gonna give this a 4.25. I think it's very good. I'm a big fan. I haven't had a barrel aged stout since Asheville. God, so I mean, like, it's been forever. But yeah, it's a good one.
I don't remember any barrel aged stouts I had in Nashville.
Wasn't there? Was it one of the skillet ones? The seasoned skillet?
Yeah, that's a good point. That I did forget about that one. How could I? That was a good one.
There were not many barrel-aged things, though. I mean, granted,
That's true.
it's
June
100
in
bajillion
North Carolina.
degrees in North Carolina.
Right.
It would be cool to go to Asheville then in like December, because I'm sure like all those places make pretty good like warming beers.
Come on down.
As long as
We'll
you're not
be
trying
there.
to drive on those streets with any snow or sleet, because
Oh, if we go in December, we're Ubering.
no,
No.
I wouldn't even trust an Uber driver with those hills.
No, especially a North Carolinian. No, absolutely not. We're safer driving ourselves drunk.
Well, but I imagine the
This
ones
is
who
a
live in the
PSA.
mountains.
Drinking alone with friends does not condone drinking while driving. So
Yes, very true. But I imagine the ones who live in the mountains are better equipped at the snow.
that's true. Yeah,
I mean, they must own plows up there. Them hill folk own plows.
that's also true. Yeah, I mean, like if we can just get an Airbnb like at burial, like if there's like a back room or something.
We can
Yes.
sleep in one of the car things that are out there that you can sit in.
Outside?
Well, we'll put like windows on it and heat.
Excuse me, this hollowed out shell of a car, can you please make it an actual working vehicle now? Oh man. But
No,
anyways, yes.
I have the Eurisco 2022 stout that I'm looking forward to having. Probably
Ooh, okay.
letting it age for a little bit, but that was one that I brought home.
Yeah. And actually that was funny. Like this bottle actually says like shelf life unlimited. So I
Whoa.
ruined it. I ruined it.
Unlimited.
Become a pharaoh. Become mummified. Throw that in your tomb. Some archaeologist 6,000 years in the future. Drink that beer.
I ruined it. It's not my fault.
Scrap the whole pyramid idea. But okay, let me get it up on Untapped here. Okay, so I have it up here.
Okay.
There are a lot of check-ins. Exactly 16,700 of them.
Okay. That's a lot. I think I'm gonna be in the high side. 16,000 is a lot of check-ins. It's gonna drag that average down. Plus it's Bell's, which is a good brewery, but I don't know. The Hop Pipe, I don't know. There's not really Hop Pipe. It's just a big brewery. It is a good beer. I can see people being like, "Ew, this is so bad," if they don't like barrel aged stuff. So I don't think it's gonna break 4, but I don't think it's gonna be far off. For some reason, I just can't kick it. I'm gonna say it's a 3.85. Like that's just jumping out to me right now. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. It deserves to be higher.
Okay.
But I'm saying 3.85.
Well, I will say this. From the moment you started talking, I knew you were going to be really way low.
Oh, good. Oh, wow. How far?
I cannot believe how high this average
Oh,
is.
no way.
This is why I ducked over out of the screen, because I was like, I don't want to influence this at
No
all.
way. Is it really that high?
Yeah. It's a 4.43.
Holy shit. I would have never guessed that. I would
Yeah.
have never guessed that in my entire life.
I can't believe it. Like,
No, I would.
I mean,
I would.
I assume
mean,
our listeners know from listening to all these episodes and how many times
Wow.
we've talked to these averages. But that's like unheard of for a beer with this many check-ins.
For 16,000 check-ins, yeah, that is insanely high.
Also, for a bourbon barrel-aged stout, it's
right.
It's ridiculous. Like, that's what IPAs are at. Like, that's what, like, Treehouse beers are at. This is
Yeah, that's insane. Holy cow. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. It deserves it. It does. Well, actually, technically, I guess I don't think it deserves it, but I'm glad it's not a. I'm glad it's not a 3.85. I think it's a 4 1/4. I think it's very good. I do think Old Rasputin is better. So there you go. Fight me, Bells. What now?
I would not have thought that I would have gotten the second closest tonight by a long shot.
I know. I was like,
you almost lost a point.
Almost in danger of losing a point.
Yeah.
I mean, I was in the yellow zone.
Oh my god, that would have been great if you would have lost a point because the beer was so highly rated.
Right. It's a 4.9. Sorry. Yours goes into purgatory or whatever.
Oh, sorry, I misread it. It was 16.7 check-ins. And 16 of them are 5s, and the 0.7 is a 4.8, 4.75.
Oh man! Wow, that's one of the highest averages we've had on the show.
Yeah, that's
That's
like
insane.
what I hope. That's like what I hope my Uber driver is, or my Amazon product that I'm about to buy.
Yeah, exactly. Wow, that's insane. Nice job, Bells. Good job.
Yeah. But speaking of Amazon products, should we go to handles? I think before we go to handles, there's one thing I wanted to say about that I texted you guys related to our top 35 brewery list. I didn't know, which was Tired Hands, which came in really high on our list, is actually the inventor of the milkshake IPA. Them and Omnipolo are like co-credited with inventing.
Oh,
the
yeah,
milkshake
you
IPA.
did mention
Interesting.
that.
I did
That's
not know
very
that.
cool.
Yeah. And so next time I'm in Philly, which might be this December, who knows, I will definitely try and seek them out, because that's saying something to be the ones who are going to be like, you know what, this beer needs lactose. And people be like, that's nuts. That would never work.
And turns out it did work. I actually do have a bit of I don't know if it's a redaction or a correction or an update. You guys tell me. But so today on stream, I actually opened up with a burial beer that I talked about last week, because there will always be something more, right? I said it was garbage, hot garbage from the can. I don't know what happened between then and now, because I drank it today, and I'm not saying it was phenomenal. I'm not saying it was the best beer I've ever had, but it was like way, 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 way better. So I wonder if there was like, I just had a bad can, or if
possible.
like, yeah, if it was just too oxidized when it went through the canning. I have no idea, but listen, it made me happy. Well, it made me happy to drink it on stream when I was like, okay, all right, this is good. Okay.
I can tell you I still have 2 of these cans, so I'll just bring one to next week's episode, and we'll do it officially.
There you go. The
I could
tiebreaker.
see if you were like, yeah, I had this beer one time, it was no good, and I got it another time and it was much better. But like, you don't get 2 beers from this in the same 4-pack from different canning lines, you know?
Right.
Like, those beers came out right next to each other.
But the beers we were drinking down in North Carolina together all tasted different, and we were sitting 1 inch separated from each other.
Maybe we need to
At the
retire.
time.
Maybe our tongues are no good at this
We're
anymore.
done. We're done. Our tongues are over. They're tapping out.
Yeah.
Tapping out. That's it. Dang. Yeah. So I just update burial. Maybe you didn't do as bad as I thought. Now last week I'll stand by the one before, hot garbage. Finished it, hot garbage. So, but yeah, it was a delightful surprise. Delightful surprise.
Here we go. Well, thank you for the correction update. Appreciate it. But as I was saying, speaking of Amazon products, it's time to go over to our freezer of knowledge and take out the Frosty mug of wisdom with its 3 handles and fill it up with wisdom, advice, hacks, products, things we think our listeners need in their lives. But to get there, we have to traverse through the song from Jordan. Jordan, take it away.
Test your handle. Test your handle. Test your handle. Test your handle. Mug of wisdom.
drink.
Mug of wisdom. Finish that bravado. Chris. Tud. Obert. Popcorn and other animals. Mug of wisdom.
Thank you, Jordan. As always, Wreck My Podcast. Check him out there. But Todd, you earned it this week. Honk, 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 honk. Man of People, crushing the other two, gotta say.
Yeah, it was a pretty decisive win today.
It was like me versus that Uber driver in Asheville. A squash match.
Oh, God.
There
Not
you go.
again.
All right, let's put it on the board here. So he's about to incorporate that far tally mark into his collection.
Couple more.
Couple more.
What happens when I run out of room?
We retire the podcast. That's it.
Podcast is over.
We hang it up.
Well, I guess we only have 4 episodes left then.
What are you talking about? We got a whole.
You got plenty of room.
We got plenty of room.
Well, do I get that box below it too or no?
We'll find out. We'll find out when you get there.
Oh, I mean, yeah, we'll find out.
It was never put into purgatory for me. Like I did not get 0.1 off, or 1 whole point off like Obert did.
So, Man of People, who's wisdoming first?
Well, first I'm missing something.
He did it.
You want double honks?
No, not double honks.
I don't think I got any honks. I don't remember the honks.
I remember the honks.
Don't worry, it's recorded. So next week, so you could text me on Thursday afternoon and be like, "I heard him now."
Thanks for the honks.
All right. I will go first this week. Circling back to what we started the podcast with, I got this interesting item from a brewer friend of mine, Heath at Problem Solved. He gifted me a Randall Jr., which is the actual name of the full name is Randall the Enamel Animal Jr. It is a beer infuser by Dogfish Head. So if you guys know, like if you have like a water infuser where you put like fruits in and you pour the water on top, and there's like a plastic like screen so you don't get like a random raspberry in the back of your throat.
A membrane.
There you go. So this is like that, except for that it's a glass cup with a top on, and then the top screws into another top that has like a screen, like a metal screen. And you can put different stuff that you want to put into your beer into the cup, pour the beer in, twist both the tops on, and turn it upside down so the beer gets infused with whatever flavors you're trying to accomplish. And then you can open the topmost cap and pour it into a cup and try your beer infused with things. So basically kind of like French pressing a beer, but without the press.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah. So Heath over at Problem Solved heard about what I was doing with my beer, and he was like, hey, in case you want to try what this beer might taste like and try to get like the right cake to beer mixture, I have this item that Dogfish Head gave me, because I guess they sell the big Randalls that attach to your tap line, so you can actually infuse your beers as they come out of your tap line with flavors. And so they were trying to get him to add one to his tap room. So they gave him this as like a trial. He obviously did not go in this direction and add it to his tap list, but he did have this item that he gifted me. If you go on dogfishhead.com, you can buy it for $20, $19.99, and I think it's pretty cool. It's definitely helped me kind of dial in how much cake I want to put into this IPA, and that's how I knew how much beer cake absorbs when it's not dry, because it
Always
absorbs
good
a lot.
to do that trial experiment run, right?
Right. So I have figured this out now, and I need a lot drier cake or a lot less cake than what I expected. So thank you to Heath from Problem Solved for gifting me this Randall the Enamel Animal Jr. And that's my handle. If you would like to try your beers with different types of infusions, grab one of these and try it to your heart's content.
That's cool.
Okay.
I like that. That's good. That's cool.
Thanks, Randall.
Yeah. Thanks, Randall Sr. He probably doesn't get enough. enough
Yeah.
love, to be honest.
It was just Father's Day. We really should be thanking Randall Sr.
Right.
That's true. After my handle, I'm going to give the Frosty Mug of Wisdom over to Obert. Obert,
Okay.
what do you have for the listeners this week?
The rare non-Chris choice. I like it. I have a movie this week recommended from our cinephile of the pod, of Jason, who we've talked a little bit about his movie choices before. This was one recommended to me from him to me, and usually when Jason recommends a movie, I'm always like, okay, this is probably going to be kind of weird, but let's try it
I
out.
usually watch them, though. When he recommends something, I usually tune in.
Yeah, same here, which is why I checked this one out, and it's called Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh, he recommended this to me. I have not watched it yet.
Okay. Yeah, he texted me. He's like, you got to try this movie. And he gave me very little information. I watched the trailer. I kind of wish I hadn't because it's a movie that is completely random at first appearance. And it has probably like 20 minutes of setup where we're learning all about the main protagonist. She's a Chinese immigrant to America who immigrant? I don't know. We'll never know. But she owns a laundromat with her husband, and she's just kind of like discontent with life. And until all of a sudden, one day someone shows up and explains how she is the savior of the multiverse. And then from there, the movie is a wild trip. I don't want to say too much more about it, but it explains pretty believably why like this random woman is the one who's destined to save the fate of all of the universes out there. And it has some pretty good twists and turns. I really enjoyed it. It is a unique movie, to say the least. If you're not into out there films, skip this one. But if you're open to the idea of a movie like this, definitely check it out. Everything Everywhere All at Once. Like I said, I wish I hadn't watched the trailer. I'll put it in the show notes if you're someone who doesn't really mind spoilers. But
Where did you watch it? Because I don't know where to watch it.
so you can buy it on Prime or Apple TV now. That's where you can find it.
Okay.
Yeah. So check it out there. You might still be able to find it in theaters, but it's, like I said, kind of like a more artsy movie that might not be in your smaller theaters. You might have to find like a large Cineplex or like more of an art house theater to find it. But I liked it nonetheless. Jason, thanks for the recommendation. And yeah, check it out. Meanwhile, I think that means it's Chris's turn to fill up our Frosty mug with his third handle. Chris, what do you got?
All right, so I actually watched a movie recently. I know, not out of character for me. It was an older movie, if it helps any.
Please tell me you finally watched like The Godfather or
No.
Goodfellas or Casino or
No, better than all those probably.
Apocalypse Now.
Nope, definitely not that one. It's a little too dark for me, honestly. I want Apocalypse very far away. I don't want it now. But I actually ended up watching Detective Pikachu for the first time.
Oh, Jesus.
Nice.
As a Pokemon streamer and Pokemon enthusiast with two kids who are following the same path. I ended up watching. It's a very enjoyable movie. I'm not saying it's perfect because it is not. There's definitely some very bad acting, but it's really cool to see them interact with these CGI Pokemon, which are like look more realistic than the cartoony versions you get in the games and things like that. The story's also a little. It's fine. Okay, it's a kids movie. It's fine. But overall, it's a pretty neat experience if you haven't watched it before. The unfortunate part about having two kids that are obsessed with Pokemon is that that's all we watch. Some days it's just, let's put on Detective Pikachu, and that's it. That's your day. That's your entire day. Because they just like to watch it on repeat. But if you're into Pokemon and all that fun stuff, it's really kind of cool the way they made the CGI and how they all interact with one another. So it's worth a check out, I think, personally. It's honestly like maybe like if Godfather is considered one of the best movies of all time, this is like maybe like third, like
Right after
that's
Godfather 2.
right after Godfather 2. It's Godfather 1, Godfather 2, then Detective Pikachu.
I feel
best movies of all time.
I can feel Jason's anger right now as those words are coming out of your mouth.
No. Well, Jason has given up on me because he has not recommended this movie to me. So, the one that Obert was just talking about. So, Jason knows I'm a lost cause. I stopped watching movies long ago. I watched Star Wars. That's about it.
It's very strange that you just never become a movie fan. Like, with as much fandom as you have for other things, the weirdest thing I mean, on top of the no cheese, no ketchup thing.
Well, you know, the problem is that showers just aren't long enough.
I mean, mine are close, but like not quite long enough. Yeah.
I think I've been in the same house as Chris when he's taken a long enough shower to have watched a whole movie.
Chris, you need to get it nice, get in the bathtub, light some candles, get out the smartphone with the protective case.
And watch The Godfather.
Watch Godfather Part 2.
I think you need to watch Part 1, though. I mean, it's
like one of
before
those
you
things
do
where
the Part 2.
Like, I just gotta say, I'm like, I don't hate movies. I just don't go see them.
I think you hate movies.
I don't. I don't like going to the movies. I'll admit that. Like that, I could do without that. But
you haven't watched any of the movies that have come out. You know, we just went through a whole pandemic where a lot of the movies were just released on streaming apps. Have you watched any of them?
Nope.
See,
I don't have all these apps. How do you even pay attention to what plays on what?
Well, we have a handle for that.
I'll just have to wait for it, I guess.
Oh, and with that, we'd like to thank you all for listening. Thank the brewers who provided today's beers. I'll go first.
It's so
snap.
weird. I will
all
thank.
Backwards.
No, I'm not putting up with this again. Thank you for listening. We'd like to thank the brewers who provided today's beers. I'd like to thank Switchback for their Switchback Ale.
I would like to thank Bell's for their bourbon barrel-aged Expedition Stout.
And I want to thank Meadowlark for their magic hobo monkey.
Please make sure you head over to social media and follow us everywhere at DAWF Podcast. Also make sure you follow the email at dawfpodcast@gmail.com. Also make sure you head over to Discord and join the live conversation over there with other fans of the podcast. And head over to Patreon, and for as little as $1 a month, you can subscribe and get extra episodes of Drinking Alone with Friends over there. In addition, in case you are cheap and don't want to join people and talk in real time, you can head over to Apple iTunes or Spotify, and you can leave us a 5-star rating and a review, which also, I think it's just Apple Podcasts now.
Yes.
We've been doing this for too long that it has changed names. But anyways, head over there. Leave us a 5-star rating and a review, and that's just another way that you can help us out and help spread the word. And additionally, if you'd like to just do guerrilla marketing, I don't know if you don't want to give us $1, I don't know if you want to really help by guerrilla marketing, but you can do that by telling other people as well. Tell everybody you know. Tell your kids who are fan of Pokemon to listen to this podcast too, because we tend to talk about it a lot.
There you go.
There you go.
You're welcome.
And with that, my name's Todd.
My name's Chris.
And I'm Obert. And remember, if you're drinking alone, do it with friends.
So, how do we get, if the movie is on YouTube, Chris could technically watch it in the shower. And YouTube has a lot of movies now.
Has to be in parts, though. The Godfather, Part 1, Part 1.
There we go.
Part 1, Part 2. If you do that in 20 to 30 minute increments, then yeah, we're good. We're golden.
And that's, you could just
That's what I call my golden shower. So.
You could just pause it during, you could just watch it on Netflix and, pause it every time you get out of the shower, and Netflix will remember right where you left off.
Is it on Netflix? There's no way to tell.
Well, no, I'm just saying other movies. You could do that with almost every movie.
I'm a lost cause. I'm never going to see.
You just have to accept Chris's movie apathy.
You have to accept
That's
me
just
for
who
me.
he is.
They like me for me, not because I look like Leonardo or that guy that plays in Fargo.